Good evening, everybody. How you doing? Good to see the early birds are here. Looking at the chat. Paulie's talking about food. I have to wait till after this to eat dinner. Bill, thank you very much, my friend. Bill from Metro Drone says, happy Thursday, droners. Yeah. So how's everybody tonight on this Thursday? I can't believe it's Thursday already. I don't know where the hell this week went. Seemed like about 10 minutes ago it was Sunday night and we were here. That was 4 days ago. It's true. They say the older you get, the faster time flies. And I got to tell you, I'm here to tell you that's true. Let me take a second here and say hi to everybody in the chat. Drone Shots was here first, and Jaybird came in shortly thereafter. Good to see you guys. And Hot Rod in Daytona was here fairly early, too. Good to see you, my friend. Ed, love my drones. Always a pleasure. Rick Halber. Rick, I'm sorry to see you're still in the hospital, man. When do you expect to get out? Let us know. Who else we got? Tomas O'Sullivan. How you doing? Europe is represented. And Paulie was here, I guess. He's gone out to eat. No, he's still here. Well, no, I'm not at the bottom of the chat yet. Who else? Rick Albert, Tomas, Stromum, I think. Most of the same guys. And then Jody came back in. How you doing, Jody? Ed, love my drones this year. Hi, Ed. Had a good old time flying with you guys last night. That was a long stream you did. That was about 3 hours plus. Let's see. Who else? Peter Carroll. Hi, Pete. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in, buddy. Good to see you. Now we'll get down towards the bottom of the chat. Bill, Metro Drones, saying hi to everybody. And Bill is here in the chat, and I'll bring him in a minute or two on the panel. Who else? Peter, Rick Halber. Maybe tomorrow or Saturday. Good. That, some might think you like it in the hospital, Rick, but I have a funny feeling you really would rather be home. But at least you got YouTube in there to keep you busy. Carlos is here, back from the sky. How you doing? Good to see you. I watched your schizo flight today, and we'll talk about that. And that's about it. That's everybody saying hi to each other in the chat. Good to see you. So, without further ado, let me bring Bill in. So, there you go. Hey, how you, Bill?
Good evening, everybody.
How are you, my friend?
Doing good.
Good. What you up to?
It's getting chilly outside.
Oh, wow. I envy you that, man. It's still hot as hell here. Not as hot as it is in the middle of the summer, but we were pushing 90 degrees today, and we had a cold front. That was a cold front. Dropped it. They were making fun of it on the news. It was a cold front. It dropped the temperature like 1 degree, kind of a weak cold front. But we have another one supposed to follow on its heels. Probably the one that just went through where you guys are. Cooled it off, huh?
Yeah, it cooled off a little bit. It's around 50 outside right now and windy.
Yeah, I like the sound of 50. I love down here the first fall morning where it gets down into the like 60s, upper 50s and 60s when you walk outside, and for the first time in like 6 or 7 months, that cool air hits you in the face. I love that morning. That's my favorite morning of the year. And if I want to go for a walk, I have to put a little hoodie or a little jacket on, because it's cool. But we haven't had that. We haven't had that yet. Hot Rod said the bikers are going to love it. The weather this week. Yeah, they are. It's Biketoberfest in Daytona Beach this week. And they been a lot of news stories on the local news about Biketoberfest because they have really, really clamped down on a lot of the activities there. They're not letting vendors set up outside tents and booths and things like they always did. And for these guys that make their living doing that, this is it for them. They got Bike Week and they got Biketoberfest. Two weeks a year they can make enough money. And a lot of these guys rent storefronts on Main Street, which are, I got to tell you, not cheap. And I hope they don't get hit too bad, but it's outside. What I don't understand is they're letting the stores be open so people can go inside, but they're not giving them permits to set up outside. That doesn't make any sense to me, but I guess they must have their reasons.
It's a little backwards.
Nice. Yeah, you'd think. So Lud sat in here. How you doing, my friend? And Chris Hope is in the house. Hi, Chris.
Chris, hello.
Good to see you. Good to see you. The bikes are, they're up. The bikes are probably all over St. Augustine by now. That's a lot of guys who come to Biketoberfest make a day trip out of St. Augustine. It's about an hour north of Daytona. They run up 95 and bomb around St. Augustine for a while. Let's bring in the wild man himself, king of roof whooping, Mr. You all know who this is.
I like that. Roof whooping.
Roof. It's easy for you to say, man. Yeah. Roof whooping.
Good evening, gentlemen. How are you?
How's it going, man?
Doing good,
I'm
man.
tired, and I didn't really do a whole lot. Well, I did and I didn't. I don't know. I was out with Drone Bump today for a few hours, going here,
so what's
there,
new?
and everywhere. Yeah.
You spend more time with him than you do with your wife. If I was her, I'd be having a little talk with you.
Actually, it's a blessing for her. No, less of me. No, he actually had an unexpected day off, so we took advantage. He came, and I took him to, I'm sure you know about it, the Flushing Meadow Corona Park, where they have the site of the World Fair, 60-some-odd World Fair.
Oh, yeah. Can you fly there?
Yeah, he took his drone right up by the tower. He put it right by the towers.
Can you
where
fly
Will Smith.
Really? Wow! Right next to the flying saucers.
Yeah.
Okay. How about the globe? Can you whoop in and out of that globe?
I can show you.
Yeah, man. I haven't seen any videos of that.
I don't know.
That would almost be worth a trip to New York just to.
I'm kind of like you.
Just to go fly that site.
My YouTube experience is more to hang out with all you crazy people than it is to post videos at this point. I don't know if that makes sense. But
well, a video like that would has the potential to go viral because of the movie. Very few old people like me remember.
I don't have that. I only have the globe. I don't have the what do they call that? He has the tower, but he did it with his what do they call this? Pro 2, Mavic Air 2.
He did it with a camera drone.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm surprised they let you fly there, but I don't know. What do they use that site for? Do they use it for anything?
People walk around across the street. People are there's a museum, which is like a miniature New York. It's a park. It's just a park for people to hang out and play.
In 1964, that was my high school class trip to the World's Fair. Yeah.
Oh, so then you were there. Okay.
So I was a senior in high school, and we went up to New York and went to the World's Fair. And in 1967, I went to the Montreal World's
What
Fair.
was that like when you actually were there? It was supposedly like futuristic kind of stuff. Do you remember any?
Yeah, it was supposed to be. But God, you're talking how long ago was 1964?
56 years ago.
Yeah. So there you go. It's and in my mind, I sometimes get the Toronto, the Montreal Fair and the New York Fair a little confused. I remember some things about the fair, but then I have to try to remember whether that was New York.
Oh, which one was?
Yeah, but that thing, because it was in the movie Men in Black,
right,
has got a lot of recognition. If you could fly a whoop in and around and through that'd be a blast.
I'll have to try that for you. This is just a Tiny Hawk flight because I didn't want to take any big stuff out. The 3-inch. But
even the Tiny Hawk flight, that's cool, man. Put that up on YouTube.
This is actually a fountain. This fills up with water, and then the inner ring is where the look, I flew on top of the world today.
Every guy who flies FPV is saying to himself, "I give my eye teeth to go."
All right, you didn't see that part, but
what part? I didn't see
little prop
that is really cool. I remember it as being bigger than that, Carlos.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
But
to
when
me,
you're on
it
top
seemed.
of it, I don't know.
No, I remember. I'm looking at it now, and I don't remember it being that. It's big, but I don't remember it being. I thought it was twice the size of that. Maybe in the movie they made it look a lot bigger.
Paul was this is the first time he's ever been in this park, and he's a New Yorker all his life, from what I understand.
How far is that from you? That's in
This
Queens, isn't it?
Yeah, 10 minutes. This is in this.
Oh wow!
You know what the funny part is? He was able to fly his drone, and this is in between JFK and LaGuardia. LaGuardia is really close. It's less than, I think, 2 air miles away, if that much. Yep. And they let us fly. He just had to sign his life away. I think he was typing all kinds of stuff on his.
He had to get a. He used the
holy cow,
the Lance system and got a clearance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or else the DJI had it as a no fly or limited, and he had to get that unlocked. That's a royal pain in the ass. Even if the FAA says it's okay for you to fly, DJI comes along and says no.
He did all kinds
I've gotten so frustrated with that a couple of times. I went out to fly somewhere, and everything I was doing was legal, but I could not get it unlocked. I couldn't get it unlocked. I had the unlock codes. I had everything. Nothing. It just wouldn't work. Pissed me off. There was it just happened here not too long ago. They had a boat parade for Trump down the intercoastal here, thousands of boats. And so I take the drone over to my son's house, which is, there's some stupid helipad. Some guy registered as a helipad in his backyard, and they got a 5 mile circle. Yes, never used it in the first place. And they got a 5 mile circle around it. And I could not get the thing to unlock, and I went home. I thought maybe I need to do something on my computer at home. So I drove back home and made sure I got the right code, and then drove back up. By that time the parade was over. Then I finally managed to get it unlocked. Yeah.
That thing. Did you have, he had to write his phone number down and all this stuff. And
yeah, well, no, the only reason you got to give them the phone number is so they can text you
the code, right?
They text you the code. Yeah.
Right.
They don't care about your phone number, but they just use that as a way to get you the code. If you're out there somewhere.
Yeah. What was that? Lansing? Is that what they're calling it?
Lanc, LAANC. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what it means. Low altitude something. Yeah, it's working. I tried it the other day here in Melbourne. Got a clearance and it worked fine. So it is available now. They just opened that up. I think somebody told me about that on the stream here. I wasn't aware of it, but they finally got around to it. But yeah, good practice to see how it's done. Yeah.
I don't know. They let you fly. They let him fly right there, right by the towers.
That's cool. I would love to rip that place. Not that I would be any Mr. Steel flyer, but yeah, it's terrific.
This park is pretty open too, and we drove through the whole park. We just said, all right, let's just go see what happens. There's parts where I said, don't go. We just, like two kids
say
adventuring.
Hi to,
sorry.
Say hi to Ray. Ray Kelly's here. Hi, Ray.
Oh, Mr. Ray Kelly. Doing? I might actually meet up with him. I may. He's going to meet up with Drone Bum, from what I understand.
Yeah, he already. They already posted a video out there by the water.
Bum was telling me they may have another potential date
Paul.
for Monday, but it's early in the morning and it's like 30 miles away. And
well, it's not like you got to work and make money or anything,
Well, that too, right?
Yeah. The Lance is fairly simple, Ray, to operate. You just use the air map. Just like buying something on Amazon, just go down the list, next. And,
that was it. It was doing a lot of what I call typing.
Well, he wasn't using Lance. He was probably trying to get the drone unlocked from DJI if they asked for the phone number. So it's two separate things.
I'm going to try, Ray. I'm going to try. That's an early bird special. So what I've been doing, just so you know, Mitch, I've been trying to concentrate more packs on the schizo to get used to it. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I am going to take the 6-inch. I need to take that 6-inch up before
But man, you're not in Kansas anymore when you're flying that schizo. It's not. That's the comment I left on your video. This is near. It's not a Tinyhawk.
Yeah. No,
Oh, that thing.
It's got power. It's fun, and it was windy, and it was handling. I mean, Drone Bum looked at the some app where it tells you the wind speed. I think it was like 30 some odd at 50 miles an hour. I'm sorry.
Wow.
At 50 feet, 55 feet, it was like gusts of 30, steady 15.
That's windy. That's really windy.
It was really good.
Yeah.
But it's so much fun. So much fun.
Hot Rod says the Ponce Inlet Lighthouse is 175 feet tall and the flight restriction is 50 feet. Well, if you have a 107, you're allowed to fly 400 feet over the top of a building or something. I don't know if DJI is limiting that but theoretically, if that thing's sitting there shouldn't be an airplane any closer to it than 400 feet. Who knows? You know, all I know is that if I try something, when it comes to applying the law to me, I'll be guilty, no matter whether I was guilty or not. You know, everybody else would be okay, but if I did it, it would be against the law.
That sounds like something I would say.
Yeah,
not that would happen to me.
Like 200 yards off the end of the runway. From what airport? New Smyrna?
That's a 4S battery that I fly.
Yeah.
Lutzet's asking. All right, I'll show you
Ray
another
Kelly.
boring flight if you don't mind.
Hey, why not? Why not?
Same area, just, you know how people fly around lights for some. What happened? I did the wrong one. It's not a tower. It's just a light pole.
Well,
a boring
exciting.
light pole.
It's got to be exciting.
And away we go.
Oh, that thing. That's a big light pole.
Yeah. I mean, the Tinyhawk, considering this is a little 1-inch banana. Look, there's the airplane up there. I think it holds its own. What do you think? Right,
Oh,
Mitch?
I like the Tinyhawk.
For
You know, I
1S.
was flying the other night. I was flying yesterday. Was it? Yeah, it was last night. Ed had his thing, and I was flying in the house and threw a prop. Do you remember that?
Right.
Every I didn't realize it because I hadn't checked in a while. Every prop on that Tinyhawk was cracked. Yeah, virtually everyone. So
it flies better when you replace them.
I put a whole new set of props on it.
Nice. You know, that would kill Drone Bum. He hates taking props out of a bag.
Those things are so cheap.
All right. Let's go look. He once gave me a prop. He goes, I could fix it. I took it. You know.
I found the prop that remember it did throw a prop, and I found that sitting out right on the middle of the floor. That was easy, and it had a crack in it. But I didn't realize those things
fracture on the I don't know what you want, like the hood,
on the hub,
collar,
on that hub.
The hub,
the collar thing. Yeah, you can tell the new ones go on nice and tight. In fact, they're a pain in the ass to get off when they're not fractured.
Correct. And you have to get it just right. And if you don't, that could be a pain in the butt to get off.
Yeah, I lined up the, it has the 3 lines, the 3 hubs on the prop.
Yeah, I call it the peace sign. Looks like a peace sign.
I lined that right up with the motor, the ones on the motor underneath it.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you're supposed to do? Yeah, it snaps. Yep. It snaps in place.
And it clicks in. But it's,
yeah.
I mean, I got sausage fingers. Try to hold a little. It's not that easy for me. But I get it done.
Yeah, but I hadn't flown in the house in a while. That was kind of fun. I showed that the goggles recording of that flight on the warm up here on the pre-show thing. Yeah.
Why aren't you going through the middle of that globe? I don't know. I'm not sure. Mitch Gap.
If you had to, you could walk in there if you had to go get it, couldn't you?
Yeah, if I had to, I would. But I just don't want to attract attention, just in case I didn't. I don't know. I guess I could. I'm getting old though. I used to do things. I used to climb up the base of that to the bottom of the globe. Now I throw sticks to try to get a drone down, and it hurts my arm.
Ed's insulting.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah.
Oh no, we we coined a gap after you. Like when you have a lot of room, but you go through it, that's a Mitch gap.
That's a Mitch gap? Oh,
because usually regular gaps are like, really tight gaps. So
yeah.
But
I like that.
Yeah.
I'm flattered.
You're famous.
that you would name a gap after me.
It was him.
Now, what do I got to do? Do I actually have to go out there and knife edge sideways through a 2-inch gap to impress you guys? What the?
Don't listen to us. We're just pricks.
I gave up on you. There's no impressing you guys. I don't personally care if you're impressed or not. I fly because it's fun.
Exactly. I'm doing kind of the same thing with yours. I'm not putting mine through any trees or holes. The ones that you made. I want them to fly for a while. I don't need that risk. I'll do that with the Tinyhawks.
Just relax.
Yes.
So I took that Sector 132.
Okay. Yeah.
The morning, and I go to fly it, and this is something you need to watch out for, Bill, on that crossfire receiver. I didn't realize it that they give you a very thin piece of clear a shrink wrap. It comes in the bag with the wires. Okay, it almost just looks like a piece of plastic, but it's not. It's a piece of shrink wrap. And if you use that shrink wrap, it'll probably squeeze tight enough to hold that antenna in there securely. I just went and grabbed a piece of clear shrink wrap that I had, but it was really a little too big. So when I got that receiver into the quad and bending that antenna wire around, I didn't realize it actually popped off the receiver. But if you looked in there, it looked like it was connected, but it wasn't. So the first time I flew the thing, it flew, but I kept getting, I'd get out about a couple hundred feet and I'd get telemetry lost. And I'm saying, whoa, what the hell is this? And the RSSI was way down, but I never lost control of the thing, even with no antenna. So I brought it home and looked at that and fixed it. And then I took it out today and I flew it today, and the crossfire thing worked great, but the range on the DJI system was not good, and there was a lot of jello. And I'll show you. I'm going to show you the. Let me get this over here. I want to show you the flight of this thing, and. I mean, the thing was sharp as hell sitting on the pad, but
a quick hello to Mr. Pete Nunez, Mitch.
Hi, Pete. How you doing, man? I haven't seen Pete out at the field for a while. Anyway, this was the little sector, and I was just flying it around to check the range and everything. But I don't know if you can see it.
This had prop guards. This was like the
this is the little one with the prop guards.
Yeah, okay.
And
but this is still it's going quick. Still 3-inch, right?
Oh, it's got the 2.5-inch props on it.
Now you're saying the crossfire was better than the DJI?
The crossfire worked perfectly, but my DJI thing kept going red when I wasn't that far away. It went down to signal strength of 2, which is very unusual. That thing's got an awesome range. So again, I don't know if you can see the jello in it. There's a little bit of rippling you can see down in the grass. It's like I think the camera mount needs a little attention. Here comes a Mitch gap.
That's a good gap. That's a better one than me. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All
right. I'm impressed. That's it. Ed, no more Mitch gaps.
This thing, it didn't fly bad, but the range was so. When I got home, I'm looking and everything looks fine. And it looks like what I did was I actually unplugged there. You see that blockiness that just happened? That was weak signal. It was behind me, and I was sitting I was near my car. So the car was between me and the thing. Never had that before on the DJI. So
was anybody else flying near you that could have interrupted?
No, it turns out one of the pigtails was unplugged from the air unit, but I had one antenna, And I think that's what it was. And I think I knocked that off when I was screwing with the receiver, because it's right back. The receiver's stuffed in there right in the back. So I think I got that fixed. And if it doesn't fix it, I'm going to get rid of those. Here, I'll show you after this flight what I'm talking about. I think I'm going to go ahead.
Have both those antennas plugged in on the DJI Air unit.
Yeah, I think you need both of them, because evidently it doesn't. You can actually fly the quad with no antennas on it. Ken Herron did that when he first got his DJI stuff. He actually went and flew and wondered why the range was bad, and it turns out he didn't strap the antennas down, and they both fell out.
Oh,
And he lost them. They just fell out and flew away. You can't just on the air unit. You have to tie wrap those antennas or have them affixed to the quad. The little MMX connector is not gonna hold it in, you know. So
is it possible your props? Is it possible your props are unbalanced? Pete Nunez brought that up.
Well, it's possible. They're brand new props, and you can't balance those little 2.5-inch props anyway. I think it's that it's got a TPU mount on the camera, which is pretty flexible. So I think I need to maybe redo it, but it flies. If it flies good.
I definitely got to go to that park one day, man.
It flies pretty nice. Am I going to go through those trees again? Maybe no.
Hey, I'm telling you, I didn't even do that with a 3-inch. So you got me.
But that's. Oh, I took my reptile and put a flight on it afterwards, and it's got the Vista in it, which only has a single antenna, and I mean the signal was just rock solid the whole flight. I was flying in those trees that were off behind me, and I was so proud of myself this morning, Carlos. And you'll see.
What'd you do?
And I mean, look at the flight time I'm getting on this, and this was 850 4S.
850 4S, 3-inch.
850. Yeah, and well, it's a 2.5-inch.
I hear you.
But watch this, man. Watch this. Watch this. This was. I was so proud of myself. Watch
on the H.
Watch. Boom! Nice. Right on it.
You must have been watching my videos.
Yeah, and I did it again with the reptile too. So I figured out how to do it, and the way that I just kind of like you're landing a helicopter. You just kind of start coming down and keep that pad in the center and just cut it when it gets over over the orange. And I wanted to show you the.
That was good though.
So what it has is, instead of the little antennas that plug in right to the back of the air unit here. No. I don't know if you can see that or not, but the antennas, and then I bring them up and I tie wrap them up here to the frame, and then I 3D printed these little flexible things to hold them together so they don't flop down into the props. Yeah.
Oh, it actually pulls them together. Okay.
And this works great. This quad has got the same air unit, but it's got the pigtails with the SMA or the RP SMA connectors that then have a little pigtail that goes up under here and plugs into the back of the air unit. And I think I didn't get that snapped in correctly. I had to unplug that to get the receiver out. When I plugged it in, I thought it was plugged in, but it wasn't. So I will try it.
That's a nice looking bird there.
It's a neat little quad, but the camera has a lot of play in it because of it's just got these two little strappy looking TPU pieces, and it has a lot of movement in it. And I don't know if that's what's causing the jello. I saw in one of the reviews for this thing that he said there was jello in it. So I might try to print a little more substantial camera mount for this thing and see if that. So issue by issue, I'm finally getting it. My bargain that I got here. Eventually, I'll get it to fly, but it got a good 5-6 minute flight. It got a good 5-6 minute
That's
flight.
Like forever. I'm getting 2.5 out of these three. Out of the 1550s, I'm getting like 2.5, 3 minutes on the skid.
And that was with the 850. I just got a couple of these R-line tattoos, 95C from race day quads. I got 2 of them to try them out and see if I like
Let
them.
me know.
And they seem to work great. Yeah, they seem to work great. Anyway, so that's a story with this quad. The I got a flight here somewhere where
Everybody's complimenting your landing, by the way. Just so you know.
yeah, well, you get lucky once in a while. You know what I mean?
Broken clock is right twice a day.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Here's the this is the, and then I went ahead and flew the Reptile because I wanted to see just to make sure. Now the Reptile's got the the Reptile is that red one, the red.
That was just nice.
And that was At any rate, I wanted to see if it was better. And this has a 1500 milliamp 4S on it. The same kind of battery that you'd actually use in a 5-inch quad, but it's only 3 inches.
Oh wow, really?
But it gets up and goes. Look at it.
Yeah.
I mean, it really moves out.
This is which one now?
This is the Reptile.
Reptile. Okay. I was going to say tortoise.
Yeah, this is the Reptile, and
this has ducks too, or no?
Yeah. This is the one with ducks. I think that that's this one, Carlos.
Oh, okay, that's pretty good considering it has the ducks. And you don't find that to get mess around in the wind at all?
I'll tell you what, you don't hardly even notice that it's any different than a regular 3-inch. It handles fine. Here we go. Watch.
That's impressive, Mitch. That's better than me.
Wait.
Twice?
No, I went up over it. It's got
okay.
It's got some decent power. I wanted to see if I could climb up over it, but it's a nice cruising quad. It's very smooth when you go down and just to do this kind of shot. And I was flying it behind me. See, I got a little blockiness right there.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why I got this. I didn't, I just noticed it. I didn't notice it when I was flying, but I just noticed it there. I turned my focus mode off. I want the whole, focus mode on the DJI keeps the center sharp when the signal starts to get a little weak.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of times the sidebars will look fuzzy when the center is in focus. I'd rather the whole thing just go blocky if I'm.
A quick hello to Mr. GFO Drone and Tech.
Oh, Mike. Hi, Mike. How you doing, buddy? Agent K is here. Hey.
He wasn't here before? Well, then hello, Mr. Agent K. For some reason I thought he was here.
I haven't been paying attention.
Maybe not. Hello, Agent K.
And I think I actually took this thing around behind me and went through that row of trees that was back there.
And that field is forever.
It's a big field. I have more fun flying in the area where the playground is, where there's more. Because you have nothing to reference. You're out there in the middle of a big field. You have no reference for altitude.
Paul takes me to a new spot one day, and we're flying. And I'm saying, Paul, come back. He goes, I don't know where we are.
Oh, last night when he was trying to fly at night, I thought he was going to fly off to the next county.
I was a little nervous there. Yep. Poor Paul.
But it gets a little boring just flying around on a big open field like this.
You got those trees to mess around with, yeah.
Well, I was.
See that.
What kind of motors do you have on that?
This thing's got the. I'll tell you exactly. It's got the Zing 1406s.
Is that what you asked? The motors?
Yeah, okay. Thomas was asking about those.
Thomas.
Yeah, it's got the Zing 1406s, and I can't really see. I think they're like 2800 or kV or something like that.
Mr. Baduga.
It's got bigger motor. It's got bigger motors than the Sector, and it's a heavier quad, and it flies with a 4S. But again, look at the flight time I'm getting on this thing.
Push that bad boy. Anyway, Baduga and Artco has just joined us as well.
Oh, okay. Hi, Art. How you doing? He'll be
Art,
in.
How's it going?
In a minute.
Hi, y'all.
make sure I wind up. And Baduga, how you doing, Louis?
So all those cars out there, are they flying too?
Yeah, flying airplanes. Guys are flying, park flyers,
Mitch.
type things. Now watch.
So they love having you out there.
Watch this, man. Watch.
Another one?
Watch. Look.
Oh, man.
Yeah, tell me, man.
Twice in a row.
So I'm retiring now that I did that twice in a row. I quit on a high note. You know what I mean?
Look, Mitch, this is my favorite part when I fly with Drone Bum.
Yeah. Oh, trying to buzz him. Yeah. Yeah.
So much fun.
He's a hell of a good sport putting up with that. He's not totally nonplussed. If that was me, Carlos, I'd be like a mosquito. I'd be batting it,
He's just like so used to it. Yeah. Where is he?
Yeah, I'd be waving my hands all over the place.
We have a lot of fun.
So what do you like? Okay, so now that you're starting to fly real quads as opposed to Tinyhawks, do you like the flying of the bigger, heavier quads? It's a different thing,
It's
isn't it?
different, but you know what? I still like my Tinyhawk. I still enjoy flying it. But I like it all.
Fun.
I like it all. I don't know. It's odd. The power's cool. I like the power. I like that you can throw the quad and let it float for a second. You can't do that with these. But I can't buzz. I can't. Oh, the punch is ridiculous. Yeah. I can't buzz the drone man though with them.
No, you can't do that. But you could with one of these because it does have. Although that would probably hurt you.
He has a little bit of long hair. Not a problem I have, but yeah.
Oh, look at you, man! Trying to get under that low chair.
You got to try anything all the time. I'm always whatever. Just spend a lot of batteries.
While you're doing that.
The art man.
It's Ken.
Oh, jeez.
How's it going, Art?
I'm trying to follow him.
Hey, I'm doing good, Bill. Carlos.
How are you, Mr. Artco?
I'm doing pretty good. Donated a pint of blood yesterday.
Did you?
Yep.
You do that a lot, don't you? You do that a lot.
Every 2 months.
Really?
Yep.
Nice.
Do they pay you for it?
No, said donate.
That's plasma, where they give you money.
No, I heard he makes his money at the sperm bank, but that's another story.
Whoa!
Somebody told him he could make money. He said all those thousands of dollars that would slip through my fingers. Damn it.
Yeah, you see any little kids that look like me.
Literally, Carlos. Literally.
I'm sorry, Art. I'm just kidding. All in fun. It's just one of those things you can't resist.
There goes the show. We may as well start with sound effects. We're descending down into a Lloyd Mendenhall deal here.
I'm sorry. I gotta get a drink. I'll be back.
All right.
That's where I come and come again.
Yeah, thank you for coming. Come again.
How's it going, Art?
It's going pretty good. And my favorite song is "We Got Big Balls."
How's the weather over there? How's the smoke?
It's been better. Today it's cooled off. We've been in the upper 50s. The Canyon Creek fire is now the number one fire in history. 150,000 acres burned.
Well, don't they clear cut out there? Or is Colorado
the wacko fire?
One of those out here environmentalist states? Yeah.
Yeah, we had a beetle kill about 30, 40 years ago, and they wouldn't let them go clear cut that out. The enviros got in and they said, nope, you can't do that. And then we've had every time we have a drought, we have these huge fires.
Yeah, California too. Same thing.
Yep. Although I picked up kind of a beat up PC today with initials HC on it. So I'm going to check it for emails.
Yeah, there you go.
Your killer is
we We don't even want to go there, Art. We're liable to get banned from YouTube for even talking about it.
Brought to you by New York Post.
Yeah, God, good on them, huh?
Yeah.
Good on the New York Post.
Rudy, he's the guy.
Yeah.
He's
Makes
an
you want to.
interesting
Makes
fellow.
you. It makes. I don't use Facebook, but if I did, I would be just deleting my Facebook account over this. It's tough. Seriously, I don't use Twitter either. But what they're doing is criminal. And
Yeah.
What did I miss? Who's doing what?
Oh, I
you haven't. See, that's the problem. You haven't heard any of this
that's good
stuff.
then. All right. Is it better
Well, the
that I don't
reason
hear
you
it?
haven't heard it, but the reason you haven't heard any of it is the problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is the
Gotcha.
problem.
yeah.
Something happened that should
I just spilled milk.
be dominating
Oh,
the headlines
good
on
job.
virtually every news outlet in the world, and should be trending and dominating all the social medias, and nobody
I know.
knows anything about it because they
Suppressing
have
it.
They want it.
suppressing. They have this is beyond suppression. This
Is
is
it
just
that they're
out and out
trying to suppress it
censorship.
Are they suppressing it on purpose so it's not a political matter?
Oh, it's
Yeah,
not China.
because they basically found
I know
out that
what you're
Joe
talking
Biden
about.
and his son
Right.
are really the crooks everybody thought they were.
yeah.
Right.
And
I've heard
you
he's
think
a
that
Klansman.
would be news.
Somebody
you
was
think that
telling me
would be
he's a
news.
Klansman, and I'm not trying to be funny. Is there any
No,
truth
I don't.
to that?
I don't think that's got anything to do with
No,
it.
but
that's,
is there any truth to that he was a Klansman?
well, I don't. I haven't heard anything.
Or
I
he
mean,
has
I can't-
friends, or he has friends with Klansmen? I
Well,
don't-
all the Klansmen were Democrats back in the day, and
Mhm. Oh,
they've
you
somehow
mean
they've
the
somehow
unity.
managed to turn it into, they take history and everything they have done wrong, they blame on Republicans.
Oh,
yeah.
You know what my phone says instead of, as well as Columbus Day, Indigenous People Day? Like, the hell?
Here
I
in
don't know.
Denver,
Google
it's St.
calendar.
Cabrini
This
Day.
whole-
has both.
This whole world. Anyway, if you really want to find out what's going on, just go on YouTube and watch Dan Bongino's show today,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
you'll get the gist of not only the facts of what happened, but how disgusting
Yeah.
How bad it is.
it really is. And
If you're going to get your laptop fixed,
Oops.
make sure you pick it up.
well, that's the
shit.
funniest thing is he left his laptop there and never claimed it again.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter how stupid they are; they never get in trouble for anything.
Mhm. Oh, I like what Chris Hope said, but can you fly a drone? That's the real question.
You know, Chris is ordering 4S batteries, Mitch. He's getting up there. He's little by little
Yeah.
getting closer and closer.
He's getting ready for that Tyro. He ordered his XM. You know, they had of all things I found out last night. Chris sent me an email and asked, send me a link to what battery I got to order. Oh, Chris has got 6S batteries. Oh, even I don't have 6S batteries.
Yeah, well, that was a mistake. but
And he said, what? So I went on Amazon to get him a link for the XM Plus, and they had a Prime Day deal on it. It was like $14 or something. It was $3.50 off. Instead of 18 something, it was 14 something. So Chris got the Prime Day deal on the XM Plus receiver.
Awesome.
I
Yep.
didn't take advantage. Half the time when you
I
do
didn't
stuff
either.
like that, you end up buying stuff you didn't really need, and you bought it because
Yeah,
you think you saved money. Remember, who was it? Your dad or somebody said saving money?
Yeah, what are you going to do with all the money you save?
Yeah.
Yeah. I almost bought that Osmo Action, and then a big image, a big
Mhm.
floating
projector?
apparition. A floating apparition appeared up in front of me, and it was a circle, and it said DJI in it, and had a slash through it. And it was red.
Yeah. Actually, Baduga has. Well, have you ever seen any of Baduga's videos? His what do they call that? Avatar is a picture of a guy peeing on a DJI drone. It's kind of fun.
and yet, I have DJI FPV stuff in all of the
there
all
you
of the
go.
quads. And, well, when we've talked about that, I've told you how I've given you the hot woman analogy about it. You know, the
Just
the
not
damn
totally
product
married,
is
right? Yeah.
is so good. No, the product is so good that you'll just put up with you know,
Being
I don't
married.
like the company. I don't know. I just don't like the company. I hate supporting them, and it bothers me. But yet I like that the technology and the flying is so damn good. Where it's the only game in town. So out go the principals and everything.
It's not a guy. It's a Calvin. Oh, it's Calvin. Who's Calvin? I don't know who Calvin is. I don't watch cartoons, but it's some little kid. I don't know. What?
I don't
If you
see
know
what
who
you're
Calvin is, Baduga's saying it's
Hobbs?
Calvin.
The cat. Calvin is a cat.
No,
it was a kid.
you're thinking of Garfield.
I'm
Calvin
thinking of
is a
Garfield.
little boy, and his
Oh,
Hobbs is his
Calvin is the
imaginary
guy.
friend.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
stuffed tiger.
I had a cat named Calvin. That's why I keep thinking it's a cat.
Oh,
Calvin is a guy, Baduga. I don't know. Made for cartoon.
No,
It's not. All right,
So
Mitch. These are the
DJI
flights I want to see out of you. Go ahead.
Speaking of DJI, they have had some events, I guess, on the 14th. I didn't watch them.
Really?
From what I understand, they came out with some new camera stabilizers. Is that true? Is that what else did they come out with? Art, you're up on that. No?
all right. I'm on the Hero 5 right now. That's as far as I've gotten.
Well, they got the Ronin. You know that Ronin, which is a
Oh,
full-size camera stable. They came out with some new ones of those. I saw that.
Oh,
But
yeah. Ken
I was
Aaron
wondering.
did a thing on one.
I was wondering
Fade
if they.
Tech. Yeah.
No, yeah, but this is DJI. Came out with some new ones, and I was wondering if they said anything about the so-called Mavic Mini 2, the Phantom 5, the Mavic 3. All the stuff that the rumor mills are always grinding out.
You know what's funny, Mitch? Mr. Drone Bum, he takes out, I guess it's the Mavic Air 2 he has. Does that sound right, Art? I don't know. Anyway.
Did he just get it? Is it a new one?
I believe it. But the thing is, the bag is nothing. He has three batteries, a controller, and a drone in this little bag.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, he's got a suitcase with wheels for his Tinyhawk. That's the funniest thing. Look at this. I got this whole drone and everything, controller, and meanwhile, look at this for a Tinyhawk.
Yeah. Well, you need so much crap when you go out to fly FPV.
He's got a controller.
I got a Mavic 2 Zoom here. It's got the little carrying case, and I can fit the drone, the controller, and 3 batteries in that tiny little.
No, when he took it out, I was surprised. It's like is it the same size as the Mavic Air, Art? The original?
No, it's bigger than the Mavic
The
Air.
Mavic 2 is bigger.
Slightly smaller than the Autel Evo, the original.
Well, those Autels are big. No. Yeah, those Autels are pretty big drones, aren't they?
Yeah, no, I remember this thing that he showed me was small. His pants were on, just for the record. But yeah, it was a small drone. Anyway, that's what I want to see you gapping trees like that, Mitch. You can do it.
I know I can do it.
All right, bring a pole.
But you're doing it with a Tinyhawk.
Yes, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't fly the Tinyhawk when I go out to the park. I fly the bigger drones, so that's why I'm not gapping those trees.
All right, then the gym.
In the gym,
the rafters.
There's not a no. Those rafters are trap up there.
What's worse than leaves?
They're like drone. Yeah, there's so many cross braces and wires and crap up there, and if you get it caught up there, you're never going to get it back. There's no way to get up there. You would need a cherry picker.
Yes, absolutely.
That'd be the only way you'd ever get it out of there.
Enough.
Oh, and watch out for the basketball basket. Get caught in that.
The net, you mean?
The net, yeah.
Yeah. Ray Kelly.
Jody says that LAX reports sighting of another jetpack flyer.
Yeah, his suitcase. It's like he's going to Florida. He's just going to fly.
Well, I take when I
funny.
go flying, I take 3 different. I have a I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's this
Not at that point.
big case right here.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we can see it.
Let me
Yeah.
move that. Let me move this drone. Move this drone out of the way,
All right.
and I take this out there with me.
Right.
Right.
And in
what's
this
that, just for the
case,
drone?
Got a big hole in it.
in this, yeah. Well, this is for the antennas on the roof there. Here, let me show you. This is a feet of
Yeah, I see a wall right through it.
engineering. This is got 2 pairs of DJI goggles.
It'll fall right
And
through
my-
it. There.
and my-
Oh, wow,
and-
you're invisible. There
And my
we go.
radio
There.
radio
Wow, just for that, huh?
and a bunch of batteries and neck straps and
Wait, what
Modules
kind of
and-
batteries? The lipos?
no, the battery for the goggles.
Oh, okay. Oh, speaking of batteries, what's how low do you take your controller, the QX7 usually, or do you just wait till it tells you?
Yeah, if you've got, do you have nickel? You have nickel metal in there, don't you?
I don't know. I think that's what it says. Yeah, I believe so.
7
I'm at 7 now.
7.2 maybe
Is the lowest? Really?
7.
Will she tell me when it's a low battery? Will she start talking to me? Low
Well,
battery.
don't you have a kind of a gauge on it that shows you? It
I have
looks
to look
full
closer.
battery.
I go by the voltage. I'm at like 717. Once I go a little under
I would-
7, I start charging.
No, I would just keep it charged up. In other
Okay.
words,
Play it safe.
if it gets down to 7.2, 7.3, charge it up. No
Okay.
big deal. Speaking of charging, speaking of charging,
Dun, 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 dun.
look at the hat.
Edward!
Hey, Ed. How you
What's
doing?
happening,
hat.
Mr. Ed? You okay, Ed?
Yeah, I'm hanging in there. It was
What's the
a
matter?
long day.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Hi, Ed.
In the
What a
heat?
hat, man! Look at
I
that.
mean, thanks for hanging in there the couple minutes when you were the only one around.
Hey, it was close, Ed. I figured you were gone and you weren't coming back, and it just did. And I thought I'm sitting here all by myself, and then you finally came back.
What did happen, Ed?
just
upset
the mouse pad. I don't know. I guess when it's getting late towards the evening or whatever,
Mhm.
because of the laptop getting hot because of what it's all doing, and then the kind of the dew comes out in the air and it messes with the touchpad big time.
Yeah.
Oh no!
And I thought I was prepared, man. I mean, this time before I went live, I had the power cord run out there and all that. I was good to go. It was going good, and then all of a sudden the mouse pad started screwing up, or the touch, whatever you call that stupid thing.
Mhm.
It was
Yeah.
good. It was going well, and I mean, it was like having a party outside, and then it got dark, so you took the party inside. It was kind of cool.
You know what's weird is now, because of where I put the SkyDroid Mitch, the video from the stream itself is better reception than what I see in the goggles.
Makes you
Well,
wonder
I
if you should.
I can see.
I have
Yeah,
it up on a pole on top of the pipe rack of a truck. And so it's up there in the air, And to me, when I've got the goggles on, I tend to bow my head like this.
Yeah.
Everybody does. Everybody does that.
yeah.
Paul. Oh, whatever. Anyway, Ed, do you ever consider maybe what do they call it? A ground station? You run a wire from up there to your goggles? Something you
I
could, in
have
theory,
thought
do
of
that,
that.
right? Can you, in theory, do that, Mitch? Right?
Well, hey,
Oh,
Mitch,
yeah.
what about
Yeah.
an antenna extension?
What do you mean?
Well,
Just a coil?
well,
like
you know,
the same place where you plug the
Yeah, like a coax.
your goggles.
Oh, okay.
Why not have like a 10-foot cable on those so they go up
well,
high?
you just got to be
Uh.
careful you don't lose too much in the cable. Well, theoretically, it should work because people put all kinds of antennas up on their roof and run wires down
Yeah,
to it. So
that'd be an interesting
Or on your
project.
goggles, get those
be a little.
antennas off the TV and have them stick straight out, look like Uncle Martin.
Yeah, you look like something. You look like something from outer space. I have that. I got that
Favorite
tall
Martian.
that Venisar's that big tall antenna which sticks up and it gets up over my head, which
That would
means that
probably help right off the bat.
if I'm behind myself, flying behind me, it's above my head, so my head isn't blocking the signal.
One more share, Mr. Mitch. This is from
Oh.
yesterday, Ed.
Okay, one more share.
Oh, that's what we like to see. We like to see stuff like that. Oh yeah, the roof line is great, Carlos.
This is the top of my building. Strange shape, but it is what it is.
Yeah, that's cool.
Look,
Now,
I
when you
flew
fly
almost
out over
across
the edge,
street by my
when you
mom's.
fly out,
And my
when you
mom's
fly
right
out over
under
the
there.
edge,
Go ahead.
but when you fly out over the edge, do you feel like you're going to fall off the building or
Nah,
no? Okay.
I'm in stable ground. But that was like the furthest I ever went from me. I was just trying. I think Ed said, "See if you can fly by your mom's," or something like
Is
that.
this last night?
Yes, sir.
Oh wow, cool.
Yeah, Art, you missed a hell. We had a good time. It was like a 3-hour live stream yesterday. Carlos,
Wow.
would you fly 14 packs up there?
Yeah, but because they're kind of old, it's time. Oh, this is where did I make it in and out? Because they're kind of old, I'm only getting like a minute and a half, 2 minutes out of these things.
Cool.
You still had pretty good signals considering you were on the other side of that building from the door.
And that building has a little bit of metal. It was fun. The weather was
Yeah, and then
good
it got
other
dark,
than the
but
wind.
the most fun flight was Paul trying to fly in the dark in his backyard.
Poor guy.
He got lost, man. It's easy to get lost. Oh, and what I was thinking, because I got one of these, I was talking to Carlos about this yesterday. It's a little LED light, and you put this down on the ground, it could be your beacon to find your way back.
We were
Yeah.
talking about laying Christmas lights out on the ground,
Oh, yeah.
like a
There you go.
That's
make
right.
a runway. In fact, the lights on your building there, Carlos, looked almost like a runway. The
At the
lights
bottom.
around the edge of the building, that was
I
cool.
could definitely find myself
I
if
mean,
you
it's
know, up
easy
there
to
at
get.
night.
It's easy to get lost at night because all those lights look the same.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
I was telling Polly,
Oh.
just use the lights like the constellations. You'll be like the ancient mariners, that use the stars to navigate with.
Paul gets nervous.
Yeah.
Poor guy. And that just psychs him out. Let me see if I find another rooftop. Decent flight. And these are quick flights.
Here's the flight. Here's what I was flying around my house last night. This was the
I like
goggles
that, yeah.
recording. Although the stream came out pretty good. I think the recording on the stream actually came out pretty good. From the SkyDroid. This was remember this was
Oh,
where
this
I
is
went
your
real
goggle
slow?
view? Is that what you're showing us?
Yeah, this is my goggles recording. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the video from the SkyDroid itself seemed pretty clean. I don't ever remember it being dirty.
No, not at all. Well, we were seeing
And maybe when I got back into way back at the other end of the house. But
this is all goggle, right? Oh, Mitch, what did you think about that
Yeah.
helicopter? You just reminded me with this thing.
well, I didn't know what I was looking at there. It's
Oh,
a
okay.
helicopter.
Yeah.
It's a Hughes 500. It's a smaller model than that yellow one that you just saw.
Right.
And it
Yeah,
was a
it was
gas.
gas.
It was a
It was
gasser.
gas. Oh
Yeah,
my
he
God,
had
yeah.
he was starting it, and he used a starter with
Some
a
kind of
probe on the
spinning-
end of it.
It looked like a blender. A
Yeah,
single,
and that's how you
blender.
start the gas ones. But gas helicopters, Ed, as you well know, are a mess. They're greasy, dirty mess.
And you get just a taste of that fuel in your mouth, and you taste it for days.
I'll never forget the first time I took my I went out to the club flying field, and I had my Mavic 2. And of course, you know, when you fly drones at the flying field, you're persona non grata. They don't want to go over there, to the helicopter area. Don't, you know, we don't want you here by the airplanes. You're going to
You might as well have leprosy.
You're exactly right. So I go way over there at the other end of the field to where the helicopter area is, and I set all my stuff out on one of those wooden tables. And sure enough, some moron comes out there with a gas-powered helicopter, puts it right down on the table, like, you know, 10 inches from my Mavic 2 Pro, and he's ready to start that son of a bitch up. And I called him, I mean, ignorant. You know, that thing I would have never gotten the grease out of that drone. It would have destroyed that drone. Stupid
Why
people.
Would he
I don't
do
even
like that?
because they're morons. Because they're morons. They're just idiots. They don't think. You know, they don't think about anything they do, how it affects other people. It's just all about them.
Ooh, look at him cruising, Ed.
Well, I mean, I was saying that he started speeding up.
Yeah,
he got out of Daisy mode.
Well, it just takes you a little while to get, you know, to get the feel of it.
Look, hey,
man, yeah, you know that. Yeah.
Ed can't fly in the house. Are you kidding me?
I can't fly in the house. I can't do that. I couldn't do that. Yeah, it would take me a lot of practice to do that.
But it is great. It is great practice, and actually. Yeah. When you're outside, it's if you have the obstacles and the gaps and the trees and things, it's actually probably easier to fly, more precise than if you're out in the middle over a huge green field. You don't really know whether you're at 20 feet or 40 feet or 60 feet. That ceiling kind of makes you honest, you know.
It makes you very honest, more honest than I want to be.
Mr. Jim above and beyond drones is in the house.
Hi, Jim. How you doing?
Hey, Jim.
What did he say? Old guy in a drone had one of them try and take out my Phantom 4.
Phantom, a helicopter, an RC helicopter. Yeah.
All right. One more.
Here we are. One more, Carlos. Okay.
Okay.
Hey, we got time, man. That's what this... Listen, tonight is this Thursday night thing is not about workshop stuff. It's about just, you know, general chat and visiting, which is what most live streams turn into anyway.
Yeah.
Up on the Roof, Carlos. I wish I had that song, Up on the Roof. Yeah, we can play that.
Carlos, you actually did kind of a dive down towards the courtyard yesterday. I think.
But then I heard her say, "Low," or I said, the minute I had a feeling it was going to happen.
There you go, Carlos.
Dramatic music.
I think when you guys were talking about the circular chimney, I was trying to give you a better view. That was the cinematic.
Is that appropriate music for you?
I like whatever you. This is your thing. See how we live in Queens, all on top of each other.
Yeah, they do. I'm telling you.
I crashed. This one? Right there. Yeah, I thought I crashed. That's Ed's flying.
It's amazing how music just changes the mood of whatever you're flying.
That's actually rather appropriate. Oh, let's see. Hit the screen.
You know what the name of this? You know what the name of that song was? Forest Frolic.
Sounds about.
You were frolicking on the roof.
I don't know. What's this? This was today. You want to see another one of today's flights?
Sure.
Absolutely. Let me check while you're doing that. I'm going to check on the chat and see what I'm missing out on.
Coast to coast, Rick Calvo, Ray Kelly.
Oh, is Bill here? Hiya, Bill. How you doing? Good to see you.
Rick was saying Dennis was just playing that song. I don't know if he's talking about the first one or the second one.
Oh, there's the schizo. Song. Yeah, this is. See, now you're flying, Carlos.
if this is the same flight you put the video up of, Carlos,
I don't think so,
I'm
no.
saying that invert you did was perfect opportunity for a yaw spin.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh,
I'm not
no
comfortable
doubt,
with
yeah.
that yet. One day.
Well, you just get up real high.
He was.
Yeah.
Not
He
really.
got up there and hung upside down for a good not 30 seconds. It seemed like a long time.
But you know that's not a tiny hawk when you see that kind of flying.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah. That's not a bad flying drone, Carlos.
You know what? It's since you touched it, it's changed the whole thing. And I'm not trying to, throw sunshine up your butt. It's just it's not what it was before. Now I can fly. Oh, you know what though? Every now and then you get those 4Xs. What's that about? Like a quick
I have no idea
fail-safe?
what that could mean all kinds of things. I don't know what the hell that means.
But you have seen them, right? They're quick
I
blip.
believe the 4Xs is some kind of warning that there's no text for, or the warning goes away before it can put the text there.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
It might
just a
just be
blip.
a little instantaneous loss of signal or something like that.
Right. And
So
then I have this guy
Bill
in front of
did
me
his
going
first-
back and forth with the golf balls. Well, there's a whole field and he has to be in front of us.
Well,
But I understand.
Well, part of what makes me think that much is like I noticed after rewatching DVR footage, I was seeing those 4 asterisks, but they would start the flash at the same time. Let's say the battery flashed or RSSI flashed.
Yeah, that's possible. You might be right. That's not anything
So
that
I was thinking it was getting too many warnings, and the flight controller said, "Okay, should I put land now there or low RSSI or what?"
I have not heard any RSSI warnings ever.
No, you're getting some terrific. You're getting strong
seeing
RSSI on that,
especially
thing.
when
Yeah,
I'm
90.
going at the other end of the field. It's like high 80s, and then I turn around. 90s.
Yeah. Yeah, well, those XM Plus receivers are pretty good receivers.
I bounced
Nothing wrong
off the
with them.
pad, by the way. I didn't make it on.
Yeah,
All right,
now
this
that
is the one that Ed's talking about. I posted this one on YouTube. Everybody gets a free view without having to go to my channel.
yeah, and they'll comment on it too.
No, this is the invert that Ed's talking about. That's all. And then he wants me to spin around, and I don't know. One day, Ed.
Look at minimum RSSI was 90. You see that?
Yep.
Well, that was at the beginning of the flight. I don't know.
All right, you can do this one day. But you got to
Yep.
keep flying and flying and flying.
Yep.
And flying and flying. Whee.
Well, the last time I flew around the apartment,
Right
I
there.
was actually able to keep it up off the ground. Sometimes it likes
Go
to
back, Carlos.
scoot across the ground.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you right now, Art, flying in the house is a pain in the butt.
But it's great practice. There it is. There was
Yeah,
the
it
invert.
is.
That's what I was talking about. He could have
Yeah.
so easily done an inverted yaw right there.
It was windy up there.
Doesn't matter.
And the other thing I wanted to say,
Easy for all you
Carlos,
guys. No, I'm only kidding.
the thing that I didn't say in the comment that I wish I had,
What's that?
but unless you had said it was really windy, I wouldn't have known.
Oh, it was windy.
These quads don't really get buffeted around too much. Not like an
Yeah.
airplane. You put an airplane up in the wind and they bounce all over the place. But quads are, with the flight controllers working to keep it stable, to keep it where you put it. Just because you're not in stabilized mode doesn't mean the gyro isn't working. The gyro works all the time to hold the commanded angle.
There
see?
was that 4X
What
thing.
if you turn
Oh,
your
there. I saw the
RSSI? I mean,
Yeah.
what if you turn your accelerometer off?
Well, your accelerometer is only used in stabilized mode. But your gyro is used in all flight modes.
Gotcha.
And
Okay.
that way, with the gyro, when you bank the thing over to 30 degrees, say center to stick, that gyro will work to keep the quad right where you command it. You left
Okay,
it.
I understand now. Thank you for that.
Hey, Mitch, you land into
Yes.
the wind if there's wind? Does that make sense?
I don't even think about it most of the time. I
Really?
try to land where
'Cause it was pretty
like
breezy.
today, I didn't land flying towards myself. I landed where if I overshot, I would go past myself, not into myself.
Did I make
It's going to be
the
easier to
landing
land.
pad?
It's going to be easier to land into the wind, of
Oh,
course.
Mitch.
There's the pad. Up.
Ooh.
Hey.
I would think it would be just, like you can land downwind with a plane too, but it can be rather
Yeah,
terrifying.
your ground
Hey,
speed is
Jim.
going to be faster. Hey, Jim.
Hey guys.
No, it's just
How
somebody
you
over there.
doing?
So Mitch, just to make light for a minute, my Roku Ultra
I saw
crashed on me. Did you see that?
Well, yeah, I saw that. You said just when I thought, what was it? You said first it was the car, then it was the water heater, now it's the Roku.
So then today in the car, I have one of those cars that you have to push the button and then move the stick shift to park before you can open the car door. Yeah, the car doors won't open. They won't unlock and open if the car is not in park. Yeah. So today, just for fun, because crap has to keep breaking, the car door won't open. I'm one of those idiots that have to roll down the window and put their hand outside. Open the car door.
I think there's a new car in your future here pretty soon.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, luck has gone downhill.
Yeah,
Hey, buddy.
Stay away from GM. Chrysler.
Right?
So you have obviously
Yeah.
you have somebody's hacked your car, dude.
Yeah. Is your neighbor coming by late at night playing tricks on you or something?
The first thing I had to do on that car is I know, man, that's tires are making a lot of noise. $600 for new tires. No, it wasn't the tire. I had to replace the front hubs.
The hubs? The
The
wheels?
hubs.
They got, what were they, bent out around?
There seems to be a bearing problem, and of course, it's a sealed bearing as part of the hub.
Yeah.
You can't.
Oh my
you
God.
can't. In the old days, you used to be able to pack them. You used to take an old shock and pack your bearings.
Or
You
you
can't
could
do that
press,
anymore.
or you could go to a machine shop and get the old bearing pressed out and have them pressed in a new one.
Well, they're sealed in there now. You remember how we used to do that? But anyway,
Well, that's part of the brake rotor, isn't it? I mean, that's all
Yes.
one piece.
it's
Yeah.
all one big hub. Yeah.
Which ain't cheap.
Hey, Mel.
No, it's
Oh,
about 150
Mel's
apiece.
in the chat. Hi, Mel. How you doing?
Silence this phone.
Mel, how's it going?
Mr. Cool Mel.
Sunglasses. Yeah.
Yeah, he's always the cool guy.
It's a 2006 Ray, but it's only got 60,000 miles on it. Something like. I got it with 50,000. I don't drive much, but
You're talking about that
probably got
HHR.
low
right?
mileage because people kept getting locked out of the car.
That reminds me a little of the PT Cruiser. They were kind of
Yeah,
like
it
Yeah,
kind of looks
yeah.
similar. That's the other one I was
better
trying to think
looking,
of.
I think.
The HHR?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like if you add water, it'll turn into a Hummer also. When it grows up. Remember the old Sonatas, Mitch, that you look like a wannabe Jaguar? Like, I forget the years. I don't know. I totaled one.
Oh, yeah.
They look, the old Sonatas,
was it?
Hyundai Sonata.
Those were that was before Hyundai got to be popular.
Well, they were
in
just
2000.
starting. Yeah.
In 2000, yeah, because they were making real, it was junk. Most of it was really not the old Sonatas. And then in 2010,
Whole
they
different
came
shape.
up with the 2011 Sonata, which changed everything. And that car was built in Birmingham, Alabama. It wasn't built in Korea. And I know that car because I needed to lease a car, and that was the one I leased in it was a 2011, and I leased it in the fall of 2010 when it first came out. And I thought that was the greatest damn car. And I've had 4 Hyundais and a Kia since then, leased. And with all those cars, not a single one of those cars ever spent a day in the shop for a repair, other than just oil changes and stuff, which is a pretty good record. What you got there, Jim?
this piece that I just bought and I showed you, this is the design of an actual car in the United States of America. Look at this rubber flap he has here. This is how GM designed this vehicle. And that goes straight down to where your fan is that blows the air conditioning into the car and your air filter and all that.
And that's under
and
the
this
hood.
thing, yeah. And you got to take
Wow.
the whole cowling off. And look at
Oh,
the
my
size of
God.
this hole. Why?
To let the rain in. Why do you think?
I don't understand why the hole's there. It's such a huge hole. Look at
Maybe
that
so
thing.
maybe so they can get the fan out. Maybe that's the only way to get to the fan.
You take the glove box out, and the fan is underneath it. Oh my
Well,
God!
Why'd they make that big hole there?
So
You're
he's
reaching
touching
in there. You're
the air
reaching in there
filter
for
and the fan
something.
now.
I see a Toyota in your future.
It's the absolute worst design I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Look, man,
So that's the glove box. He's got his hand in the glove box. Right
Oh
now.
my God!
Wow.
Talk about thieving.
All I know is they pay a bunch of engineers to cram 10 pounds
Wow.
of crap in a 5-pound bag.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
just amazed at how little designing goes into something.
Yeah. And didn't you
That's
say the battery is in the back?
The battery's inside the car, underneath the floorboard plastic that you lift up and to get your spare tire out. And it's got remember this, Mitch? I was asking you about this. It's got a 50 amp body control module fuse on it that blew. That red fuse I was showing you, Mitch, and said, what the hell? I've never seen a car with a 50 amp fuse on the battery.
When did you get this car?
2013, 14.
Oh, you've had it a while. You've had it for quite a while.
Mitch, did you ever own a Prius? No.
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
They don't have spare tires, those cars.
Yeah, they do.
Not my stepdaughters.
Really? No, it had a spare tire.
You
If I
saw
remember
it? You
correctly,
actually
it had a
used
spare
it?
tire. Well, I mean, I had a 2000. I got rid of my Prius when I got the Sonata. So I had the Prius from like 2008 to 2010 when I traded it in on the. I told you, I mean, I described my leasing experience. I never take a lease to full term. I always trade it in between 2 and 6 months of being up, because then you don't have to worry about all that lease end stuff.
Right.
They just
You know what
take
I
the
don't
car.
like about that is that 15 cents a mile or whatever. You're limited
Well-
to like
Well, you can
3,000
prepay,
miles.
or
Yeah, well, here's the thing, Jim. It doesn't, if you don't take the lease to full term, it doesn't
Right.
matter how many miles it's got on it. It's going to have a value, whatever the value is it when you trade it in. And that's and I've always managed to do real well, but I don't drive a lot. I
Right.
had on that the car I just traded in on this new lease that I just got. I actually had a couple $1,000s of equity in it.
Huh.
I could have bought that car for 16 and a half. And they gave me 19 and a half for it on trade. And I owed 2 lease payments on it yet, which was about $600. So it's the first time that's why I got a tremendous deal on that car. It had $10,000 lease cash. So I got 10,000 right off the top when I leased it, and it was a good deal. I went shopping for an SUV. I needed an SUV, especially for model airplanes and everything. But the deal was so good that I got a car, and I regretted it. I liked the car, but now that the lease had 2 months up, I went and finally got the SUV that I should have got 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I've had the Accent, the Sonata, the Tucson.
And
I
you know
just
what
got
the
a,
price you're paying now, Mitch, that's about what you're going to pay anyway with your regular maintenance and all that down the line.
It cost me
Oh,
between $300 and $400 a month, depending on what I
Right.
get. Yeah. I like to keep it closer to 3, but never any. This new one cost me like $375 a month. Okay, it's a brand new Santa Fe. It had a $36,000 plus sticker on it. All right, so let's do the math. You buy a $36,000 car. What's that?
You can't see it. It's an app called Simply Auto. What it
Oh, yeah,
tells
the
you
financing.
what you've spent in fuel, what you've spent in service costs.
Oh, okay.
And when I look at this and hear you talking about $300 a month, I could do that. And for what I'm spending in maintenance costs and all that.
Well,
I've
here's
spent,
here.
what is it? $1,500 for a total of $3,500 in maintenance and stuff.
Sometimes you'd be
It-
surprised.
it's
Buying new
easy.
is a lot easier.
Well, here's the deal. If I were to buy this Santa Fe, and I did the numbers both ways. And all this is after the deal that I engineer for myself. Okay, so basically the car was like a $36,000 car, but I got it for closer to 30. All right, that was what the final cap on the car was, close to 30. And then they gave me a couple grand for above what they owed on what the old car owed. So, but if I went to finance that, even for like 5 years or 6 year financing, the payments are going to be close to $600 a month. Okay, that's what the payments are. $600 a month. You take a $36,000 car. You finance $30,000, even at 0% interest. For 6 years, that's $5,000 a year if you're paying no interest on it. Okay, so you either got to put a big chunk of money down. Now, a new car will depreciate, and this is something that the car dealers will tell you. It'll depreciate in 3 years to about half of what the sticker was. So you buy a $30,000 car, in 3 years, it's a $15,000 car. Okay. The total cost, the lease cost, the total of all the payments that I will make on this car, because not only was it no money down, but they actually paid the first payment too. So I have to make 35 payments on it. The total cost of everything for me over 3 years is going to be around $13,000. Now 13 grand. The residual value of the car, they're telling me at the end of 3 years, I'll be able to buy the car for $22,000, and I don't want to buy the car because it'll only be worth about $17,000. Okay. But that's how you get a good lease price. You have them, you know, they can work out whatever kind of deal, and they can jack the residual up as high as they want, and lower the purchase price down as low, and squeeze the difference, and that's what you're paying for, plus a little interest. The total amount of interest
a car and not having to make payments.
Well, that's great.
I buy like 2-year-old cars.
Yeah,
I bought a 2014 Legacy for like $13,500 with 13,000.
But the last time I did that, Carlos, the transmission went out and it cost me $4,000 to fix.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I had.
So I said to myself, for $4,000, I could lease a brand new car for a year and have some left over.
No, $800. They gave me extended warranty.
And that's like a standard price.
3.5
Anywhere from
years.
$3,000 to $4,000. You're always going to pay that.
I like the fact that
honestly, with a 2-year-old car, you had a tranny problem. Seriously,
that was older than 3 years, but I thought I was going to save money by buying an older car, and it
no,
didn't
2
work
years.
out. I like the fact that that I'm always driving a car that's new. It's under warranty. It's got brand new tires. I never have to buy tires. I never have to pay for oil changes. I never have to pay. I know exactly how much it's going to cost me every month to own the car.
My last few cars were inexpensive.
And that's what I'm saying. When you look at it from that angle, if they're going to take care of all maintenance, right? Like I just showed you, I've spent $3,500 so far on maintenance.
It's easy. Well, it's easy.
Yeah, that's not a bad deal, actually.
I got a Chevy Cruze.
But that only works. That really only works if you're not driving 50,000 miles a year.
Well, that's my thing. I drive a lot.
Yeah, see, and that's where for somebody like me, and even you, Jim, that doesn't drive 50,000 miles a year, at least works. But if you're going to be putting 150,000 miles on it, it's not going to be worth all that much, and you're going to end up making up the difference at the end. Look,
are they still doing 12,000 miles a year?
Oh yeah,
you can get close to 15. You can buy prepaid miles. It's up to you.
Yeah,
if you
but
buy them early, You save money.
I don't. Why should I give them the money? If I had to give them money at the end, I'd rather give it to them. But most of the time when I trade it in, they just take the car, and that's it. It's gone. I don't have to. They pay. There's a $400 on these leases. There's usually a $400 turn-in fee.
Yeah.
They pay that. They take the car. The car's
as long
gone.
as you take another car from them.
Yeah, well, that's the idea.
Yeah.
That's you're doing it in trade, and it doesn't matter whether they give you more for your used car or lower the price on the thing. It all comes down to how much is this going to cost me a year. That's all I care about.
Now in Florida, or do they require you to keep 300,000 on a lease car insurance?
You're supposed to. I don't even know if you need that. They used to be 100, 300, but I think they changed that. I think you can just get by with like 50 now.
I don't know what the hell mine is. I've got Geico.
They see, the lease car company doesn't give a crap about how much liability insurance you have. All they're concerned about is if you've got collision on it. Yeah, and you have to have collision. But
that's the other thing.
I got
insurance in Florida must be much cheaper than New York.
In Florida you got a different problem. It's a no-fault state, so both parties are going to get hit insurance-wise in an accident.
But that doesn't.
I think we're the same way, though.
Yeah, I like the no-fault idea because that means that every car accident does not have to be litigated, and that just jacks up everybody's insurance.
Well, I don't like it because it's never been my fault.
Never ever.
No.
Yeah, but
No, I hear you with that, Jim. I hear you, brother.
Yeah, and I
All right,
found
so
out.
Mitch, what's full coverage? If you don't mind me asking, if you want to tell me it's none of your business, for your car a year or every 6 months, how did that? Whatever they do.
I have USAA. Okay.
Oh, okay, that's one of the better ones.
Veterans. And for everything 100, 300 full, I go with $1,000 deductible rather than 500. I try to keep it.
Yeah,
I'm paying around $900 a year.
A year. I'm paying $1,500 for 6 months.
You live in New York.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like,
Well, part of that's Christian too, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it goes up
and
a
the
little bit because I
interesting
have a
thing
21-year-old.
Ed, when I got the new car, they give you a new car discount of about $75 every 6 months. So my insurance on the new car was $150 less than my insurance on the 3-year-old thing.
Hey, Ron.
Nice. Ron Lockwood joined this year.
Yeah.
Hi, Ron.
Yeah, cars suck, but it's a necessary evil. But definitely, I learned the hard
Ron
way
is
too.
not a necessary evil.
What Mitch is saying, that buy new and you'll just have a lot less headaches with repairs and money.
No headaches. The thing never fails to start.
And most of the time it's under warranty.
Deal Mitch got. We got to remember, most of us are not getting that deal.
Why not? And never. I always buy a car towards the end of the month, never at the beginning. That's what I was told also. They want to.
And don't ever tell them you're paying cash. Don't ever tell them you're paying cash.
Well, you got to deal when you got to make it. You got to make it appear like you know more about their business than they do. Okay, and
I go in there telling them you need me more than I need you. That's the way I
there's
go
a couple. No, there's a couple of little things you can do. I know a lot about the car business because I used to write. I wrote a long time ago. I wrote software for car dealers that automated the F&I, the back end of financing and insurance. So I know the ins and outs of how it works, and I kind of throw out a few little things that gives them a clue, and right away. The general manager is selling me the car, not the salesman. Okay, I'm talking to the guy who can make the decisions. I don't have to, normally the salesman will keep running back and forth to the manager, and he'll come back out with another thing, and he'll show it to you. Yeah. Well, I get the general manager when I went in there the other day. He just came right out and sat down with me, and when we got all done, I got a really good deal. I didn't kill him. I didn't break the bank. I could have probably been a real hard nose, but they got to cover their costs too. So I let them.
I'm sure they made money.
They made a little money, but not a lot. I know exactly what they made. They made a little money, but not it wasn't the deal. It's not going to go on the high gross of the month.
When did you buy it? Do you remember what time of the month? Just curious now.
What time of the month?
It was the second. I bought it on the second.
It was the 28th day.
It was the second of October. I've had it almost 2 weeks now.
Minnesota Paul and the Butte Chaser joined you, by the way.
Hey guys, how you doing? How you doing?
Why am I so?
So when I left, it was funny when I left, because I told the guy just how to structure the deal, the general manager, and when I left, he looked at me and a nice guy. His name was Spike of all things, and he was a car guy. He's been in the business a while. To be the general manager of a fairly good sized dealership, you got to know what you're doing. And he says, he gave me a good, and I said, the kind of deal, I said, I know you're giving me a good deal. I know this is a good price. I said, but the kind of deal I really want, I said to him, the kind of deal that I really want, I said, those movies like Walking Tall, where at the end of the movie, the hero's walking away and everything behind him is
I have exploding and
going up in flames. I said, that's the kind of deal that I want. When I leave
the Heisenberg scene when he runs from that.
Right.
Exactly.
The car dealer is totally destroyed up in flames. I said, and I haven't done that to you. And he laughed. And when we got all done, he said, he says, I wish everybody that came in here to buy a car knew what you know, because then I don't have to go through all the bullshit with him. Yeah.
It wouldn't make his money.
He made enough money to make him happy and move a car. And he moved a car that he needed to move. And that's another key.
Yeah.
Find out the car. You go in there saying, I got to have this car. You're not going to get the deal. Find out from them. Let them, find out from them the car they really want you to buy. And if it's an okay car, that's the car you're going to get the deal on. And it just so happens that the 2021s on the Santa Fe's are not out yet. And I knew that. And they got a bunch of 2020s they just got to get rid of. And this thing had everything I wanted.
Those cars?
They have a big sale and they'll sell them. There's still car dealers out there that are having specials on leftover 2019s.
Send them to other countries.
They'll send them to other dealers. They all work out of, it's interesting. They work out, a lot of these dealers, you don't realize it, but they all work out of a common pool of inventory. Just because the car is sitting at one dealer, every dealer in the neighborhood knows what the other dealers got. And if they need to find a car for that's exactly what a customer wants with a certain set of options on it, and they know the other dealers got it, they'll make a deal and they'll swap something or buy it from them. Mm-hmm. My car, the car that I got, I could tell from the on the trunk, the car dealers stick their name on the back.
Yeah,
I could see the adhesive outline of another Hyundai dealer on there. Yeah, I knew that car, even though it was a brand new car and it only had like 30 miles on the odometer, I knew that car was a lot queen. It'd probably been around for a while, but it was exactly what I wanted. And I was able to, and another thing is they had a deal going on with like $3,000 in factory incentives on it too. So you put all that crap together and you can get yourself a good deal.
They need you.
But you got to be willing to do without something you might have wanted to. Maybe it's a color you weren't crazy. My car's a dark gray metallic. I like a lighter car for Florida, but
Yeah.
You can get
what I hated is when they started coming out with those packages, where the mirrors turned and then the
it's that mouse.
You had to get if you wanted one thing, you had to get 4 others.
Yeah, well, they do that. They do package everything. Fortunately,
a lot of this stuff comes standard now.
Well, they have the Hyundais.
Now.
The Hyundais now all come with the safety stuff now standard, including the lane keeping, the adaptive cruise control. What's that?
You're fuzzy. There you are. Now you're in focus.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah,
I'm feeling feeling a little fuzzy too.
Few seconds.
A little water here.
I'm always a little fuzzy.
For example, I don't need a sunroof. Oh, I'm fuzzy again.
Yeah, there you go.
That's it. Lean back. I don't need a sunroof. I hardly ever open the thing up. I had in my Cadenza, I had that all glass. You know how they have the all glass roof on the cars now? The whole roof is glass.
How safe is that?
It's
How safe are these
something
glass
else
roofs?
a week.
Well, I don't keep a car long enough again for these things, for those kind of problems to crop up. I'm getting rid of the car just before the problems start happening. Anyway,
I would want a roll
so
bar
I
on
don't
my
need a sunroof,
glass
but I
roof.
like that glass. I like that all glass top because even it was dark tinted glass, and the whole interior would open up, and you'd be sitting in a. It's really neat. So this, I thought that it's just funny because I wanted, they sell cars now without climate control. Okay. Where you actually remember the old ones where you have to work the temperature and the fan speed manually. I like to set the temperature. I want climate control. Well, so many of these cars, they cheap out by now. I want a decent sounding radio. So that means I got to have one of these premium, like Infinity or Harman Kardon or Bose systems.
Well, this thing here, this Chevy has a Bose system in it with 12-inch speakers in the back.
Yeah, they all sound. But I wanted that, and I went and looked at some Kias, and they were nice, but they didn't have they didn't have the climate control, and I needed a higher package. And they got these SELs, and they got the limiteds, and they got all. Very confusing.
Florida?
What's that?
Were you in Florida at the time? I can't imagine a car in Florida without climate control.
No, it had air conditioning. It didn't have the automatic climate control where you just turned, say, 76 degrees, and it kept the car at that temperature. Where you didn't have to keep fooling with the knob that had the blue on one side and the red on the other side.
Well,
and the fan
obviously.
I don't think I've ever fooled with that. I just turn it on.
The Lincolns used to have that where you could the people in the back would be at a
Mitch
separate
is
temperature.
spoiled.
Yeah, well, I'm used to having the split AC, even though I never have passengers where the passenger can adjust their own. Anyway, so these Santa Fe's that they have, they had a whole slew of them that had all this higher end stuff in it. The navigation system, the everything, all the electronics, the big radio, the good sound radio, climate control. So this is the one where I hadn't even seen the car yet. And we're already negotiating the price. So I got to a certain point. I said, I think I'd like to see this car, maybe even take it for a little test drive. So they went and they pulled it around, and it's really pretty. It's got all leather interior, and it's a two-tone leather with stitching. It's really a high-end looking car for something that isn't considered a luxury car. Had all the safety stuff in it. It's got a deal where it'll automatically hold the brake pedal at a stoplight if you have it turned on, where you can take your foot off the brake and the car will sit there till you hit the gas. It's got adaptive cruise control where you tell it how far behind the guy in front of you want to stay, and it'll speed up and slow down. It's got all the safety automatic braking. If the guy in front of you jams on his brakes. What's that?
Is it a push start?
Push button. Oh yeah, it's got all that. It's got remote start. You can start it from your cell phone. You can all that cool technology stuff. Blue Link comes for 3 years, which is their deal where if you ever get stuck, you push a button on your rearview mirror and you're talking to somebody on the cell phone.
They used to be OnStar.
They have that too.
Yeah, well, Hyundai's got their own one called Blue Link, and that you used to have to pay for that. Now they give it to you for free for 3 years when you buy the new car.
Transfer you to China.
They were charging a couple $100 a year for that. So it had that. So then I said to the guy, I said, doesn't have a sunroof. He says, no, I don't think so. I said, okay, I don't need a sunroof. So here I thought I was paying for a car with. So I go.
Did you hear what Carlos said?
What? What did he say?
Probably insulted. Transfers you to China and you're on hold.
No, with his it does. OnStar, you get Americans. That's the other.
Yeah. So they pulled the car up around.
Right now.
They pulled the car up and
we don't see you.
Wait, no, so they pulled the car up.
Sorry for the inconvenience.
And I get in it and I take it for a ride. And it's got and I look up and it's got this sunroof in this thing that goes the complete length of the vehicle inside, like 6 feet deep. And when you open the headliner thing, it rolls back. The entire interior of the car is under this glass roof. And it's fabulous. I said, this is really neat, really dark tinted roof. I said, this is really slick. And no paint on the top of the car at all. solid, glass.
Cool.
Okay. So, and those things are usually very expensive. So I said, wow, I didn't know it. So I go back in after I come back from the test drive and I liked it. And I said, hey, that car's got a sunroof. And the general manager looks at the salesman like, oh shit, did you take the wrong car for him to test drive? So turns out he missed the side. It was the car. It was the right car. They went looking at the VIN. They went out and looked at the VIN number and looked at the books. Turns out the car did have a sunroof. He thought it didn't. So that just made me even happier. So,
Rich, can I share a picture? Kind of get us into the holiday spirit. It's almost Thanksgiving.
Okay, let me get my boo sound effect ready.
Good.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm waiting.
Alrighty.
What did I miss, Ed?
Nothing, because you didn't have it ready to share.
There we go. Now we know where pumpkin pies are made.
Oh, Art. That's awful.
What a sick sense of humor. Sometimes I wonder.
And that's
I
why
don't like. I never ate a
pie.
pumpkin. I don't like pumpkin pie, and now I know
I
why.
don't either.
You don't like
Yeah, I
pumpkin
hate
why.
pie? Oh my gosh, it's good. You guys have
Tomas
gingerbread?
says, does the car come with a driver? I never had all the automatic cruise control and the lane keeping until this car. It's the first time. So I had to read up on how to use it. So the damn thing is it's not an autopilot, but it's almost an autopilot. I had it out on I-95. I set the cruise control, and on the display, it's got a big LCD display, not only for the navigation, but the cockpit, the instrumentation is also digital, and it shows you your car, shows you two lane things, and then it shows you 4 different blocks about how far you want to be behind the car, and then it shows you where a representation of the car in front of you, and you can set your distance to be either 1, 2, 3, or 4 blocks from the car in front of you.
But
And then
drones are bad.
What's that?
But drones are bad. You can have
Drones
all
are
this
bad.
artificial intelligence in your car, but drones are bad.
And
Hey,
then
Mitch,
you turn on
it's one of these that turn off when you stop at a light and then turns on again when you take off. Does your engine?
you have
know how
to
they-
hit the resume button when you come to a stop.
You have to
But
actually do it yourself.
Just
No. There's nothing to do with the. You know how cars now, to save gas, they turn off when you're at a red light.
yeah, it does that, but you can disable it with a button.
Okay, so yours does that
And
also.
the reason, and I don't like that. And the
Me
reason the reason that they do that is it's a way that they can get another 1/10 of a mile per gallon fuel economy, so they can beat the other guy. It's the most useless thing in the world.
You don't
to
think
shut
that
your
taxes
engine
your
off
starter?
for 10 seconds. It's harder on the starter. It's got to
That's
be.
what I would think.
And it comes defaulted to on. So every time you get in the car, you got to push the button to make sure it's turned off. And I don't like that. But this thing's got this lane keeping, and I never had that before. It's got cameras in the thing up at the top of the windshield that pick up the lane markers.
Which, by the way,
And
have to be cleaned.
And on the dash, it shows you whether it's detecting the markers or not. And when it detects the markers, the damn thing steers itself. You got to hold on to the steering wheel, though. If you let go of the steering wheel after 30 seconds, it makes a noise and tells you to put your hands on the steering wheel. But as far as safety goes, if you're on a long drive late at night and you're falling asleep at the switch, that thing could save your life, because it has radar, LiDAR in the front, and it'll jam on the brakes if it sees it, and you don't even have to have it activated. Anytime you're driving that thing, if it senses you're about to run into something, it will jam on the brakes. If somebody runs out in front of your car, it'll jam on the brakes. Neat stuff. I never had that stuff in a car before, so we'll see if it gets me in trouble or saves me.
Yeah, I remember that long drive with my grandfather from Michigan to Denver, and sitting there, and I'm look over, and he's like going, I'm like, wake up, wake up.
Oh, I've had many drives where I was
Oh my God.
especially 20-hour drives going to these jet meets in the middle of driving home all night because I didn't feel like stopping at a hotel and falling asleep, Ugh, I hate that.
Yeah.
Loading yourself up with coffee. Ugh.
Well, when I was
Carlos?
on the road doing comedy, I had this friend of mine called Joe Cola. It's kind of like Coke with lots of caffeine. Always good to have one of those when you're starting out at 6 a.m. and you're like, yeah. And then it kicks in and it's like,
Mitch,
There
I don't
yet.
mean to be a
Are we
party
there
pooper,
yet?
but my stomach,
Yeah.
my stomach is growling, and I got food over there. But I'll be here, and Ed's gonna watch the chat because he's the man.
Oh, go ahead. We've
spirit.
only got
You'll be here in
about
spirit.
we've got
Absolutely.
10 more minutes or so, and
I
I'm
want to
hungry
get
too.
hanging. I need to
Yeah,
sustenance.
Ray Kelly said Hyundais are Korean. Yeah, they're Korean, but so many of them are made here in America. All right, Carlos.
Take care, guys.
Okay.
Talk
All
to you
right,
guys.
buddy. Thanks for coming in.
yeah, go stuff your face.
Did anybody see Remo Williams?
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, that was a cool
June
movie.
was like, oh, well, I'm Korean. I'm perfect.
Is that a movie?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was,
it's an old movie. It's pretty cool, though. I like it.
yeah. It's one with was it Joel Gray and
Yeah.
Fred Ward and Kate Mulgrew was in it.
Yes,
A
she
young
was.
Ward?
Kate Mulgrew.
You remember all that, huh? Wow,
Yep.
that's cool.
And I think wasn't Wilford Brimley in it? I think he was
Yeah,
in it.
he was.
Is that
And,
before he was doing diabetes commercials?
yeah, diabetes. And yeah,
I remember Wilford Brimley from that movie with Jack Lemmon about the nuclear power plant. What was the name of that
Oh,
movie?
Oh, yes.
China syndrome.
Yeah, the
Very
China
good,
syndrome. Yeah, that was
Mhm.
that was a great movie.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what killed nuclear power here in the United States. Scared
movie.
the shit out of everybody.
Yeah.
We can't have nuclear. We got
Well, Chernobyl kind of helped. Chernobyl helped a little too. I think Chernobyl may have scared a few people.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
that was Russian.
Don't forget
That was
3 Mile Island.
79.
Yeah, I remember
Remember
3 Mile Island. Yeah.
Yep. 3 Mile Island. Yep. Yeah, but compared to some of these other accidents, it really wasn't a whole lot. But
Oh, no.
compared to Fukushima, that was pretty bad, but it wasn't anywhere near Chernobyl, where a whole reactor just
Right.
went up. Because
Well, just remember this part is that who was one of the stars of that movie? The
which,
female lead in the China syndrome.
oh, Hanoi
Oh, who was
Jane.
Yes, exactly.
Hanoi
And
Jane.
she's been a lefty since
Who
Vietnam.
said coronavirus was a gift to the left?
Yes.
Yep. God's gift to the left.
They're sick people, aren't they, Art?
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Oh, now we found out Barron Trump has the COVID, and I could just see the lefties all having their little happy dance.
He's not going to get sick.
No.
He's not.
I mean,
no.
he's young.
I guarantee you
probably
there's
come through it better than his dad did. He'll probably have the sniffles for a few days.
Yeah.
They give him all the stuff, and yeah.
Carlos
no,
is
man.
still Carlos is here in spirit. He's still a bunch of deplorables. That's us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm a
My
problem.
daughter's just a kid.
We know who we are.
Well,
Yeah.
we're getting close.
I'm
Yeah,
just
we are.
hoping the
We're
young and
about a
dumb
week,
don't
2.5
overwhelm us.
weeks away
Hey, Jody.
So we'll find out if that Kevin McCullough was right. We'll
Well, I'm going to vote next week. We have early voting right there at the park. I told you that, Jim. Right at the place where right where I fly the little drones in the gymnasium. That's where they vote, and they open that up for early voting. Anybody in the county can go to any early voting thing. So
I have my precinct. I vote where I vote all the time.
do you? If you want to vote early and avoid election day, you can run over
I don't
there.
care. I vote.
I'm not likely to change my mind between now. There's not much they can say that's going to get me to change my mind between now and November 3rd.
Yeah.
I changed my mind. I didn't change my mind, but my mind's been made up since 2018.
Yeah.
Have you guys been getting more phone calls?
Oh,
I don't answer them. I get phone calls, but I let them go to voicemail, and they don't leave messages. So yeah, there's a lot of this crap they're calling.
For me, I use my cell phone to listen to talk radio at work. And I'll be listening to it, and all of a sudden, there's no noise. What's going on? And then I find out it's some idiot called, one of those robocalls. And
Yeah.
I go, oh, and I have to turn the radio on, put it away, and listen again, and listen. Hey, Rush, first time caller. Thanks for having me on. Mega dittos.
Carlos asked what time are the town hall meetings tonight. I think 8 o'clock is Trump, and I think 8 o'clock is Biden, but Trump goes for an hour and Biden goes for 2 hours.
Oh, God. How could you do 2 hours of Biden?
Yeah.
So I can't watch. I'm not going to watch either one. I mean, those town halls are they're such staged nonsense.
Yeah. Biden
I can't even watch the local news anymore.
I'm the guy.
Yeah.
You'll be saying
well, you watch it for us, Art, and then you give us a report, okay?
Yeah. That's the thing about YouTube. You'll get tomorrow. You'll get every snippet that was worth watching. Somebody will make a YouTube video out of.
Mm-hmm.
And
and then every gaffe that Biden's made will be plastered all over. Where he can't even remember which town he's in, and you'll get numbers all confused, like 100,000 million people died of corona.
You got to remember, they got to throw up some candidate. They can't just have nobody run. They got to throw up some Democrat.
Yeah.
Biden said, "Okay, I'll do it."
Well, of all the people in this country that they could have put up to be president, this it just shows you that they got nothing. They got nothing. I'm going to show you something funny. Carlos just sent me a text of a meme, and I don't know if you can see it, but it's Kamala Harris and Joe Biden's in the wheelchair, and Joe Biden is saying, We did it. We won the presidency just before she pushes him off the cliff in the wheelchair.
I mean, that's kind of like, isn't that kind of like they were talking about George Bush dragging people behind trucks and chains or something?
Oh, yeah. Here you go. Steven Crowder, he does these live viewings of these different. Yeah, he does these live viewings of the. And he just posted on YouTube. He's going to be on YouTube with the town hall live stream. And then Ken Herron is coming on, and Dennis Lovelady has said Monday Sunrise. What happened? He's live too right now. Dennis Lovelady is live. What a competition!
Oh boy,
killing us here. Yeah.
Mitch, I'm gonna
the only thing here's Carlos sent me another one. Carlos sent me another one, and it says the only thing worse than COVID-19 would be Biden 20.
Yeah.
Sorry if we got any liberals in the audience. We don't mean to impose our views on you,
but we do.
But we do. And I'll tell you, we can't do much. We can't do much. We don't have much of a platform. You know, you can talk to your friends, but you're not changing any minds. If you got liberal friends, they're liberals. Nothing you can say is going to change their mind.
You heard about the shooting that happened here in Denver last Saturday?
There's so many shootings, I don't know which one you're talking about.
Oh, this
Yeah, right.
There was you know who Tig is? He had a rally here in Denver. It was Muster, the Patriots rally. And after the rally, people were leaving. And, well, a security guy from one of the TV stations shot a Patriot in the face right out by the art museum, just a few blocks from where I work. And the guy was reaching for something, and then the Patriot sprayed him with, bear spray or pepper spray, and the guy pulls out a gun and shot him in the face.
Oh, I remember about that.
But it's okay.
Then they find out that this guy doesn't have a permit for a gun, and Pinkerton is saying, well, he's not with us. They can't find anything about him in the Pinkerton database. So Channel 9 is really up the creek with all of this. And why do reporters need a security guard? They got these vests that says press on it. We're not going to beat them up. Antifa might. BLM might beat them up, but
got my emails and texts. I turned off my silent mode on my phone. It's going crazy. Art, you better get out of here, buddy. It's, you only got 3 minutes.
So thanks for having me, and take care, everybody. Yep,
Ken texted me, said, let Art go. I said, okay. All right, buddy. Here you go.
All right, see ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Well, I guess I'll go too, Mitch.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna say goodnight to the folks and go eat some dinner. See you, Ed. Thanks for coming in, buddy.
See you, Ed. Mitch, thanks again.
Bill, always good to see you.
Yep. Have a good one. See you on the next one. Sorry
Okay,
I talked
buddy.
so much.
No, yeah, I was going to mention that to you. No, listen, sit here and enjoy. Glad to have you, and I'll see you Sunday.
All right, be good, man.
All right, take care, buddy.
Bye.
Bye. Hey, and that just leaves me and the monkey, and I'm losing my voice here. So it's just as well that we're done. And let me say goodnight to everybody quickly. Paul, Minnesota Paul, thanks for coming in. And Tomas, thank you. Ed, love my drones. Carlos, Ray Kelly, thanks for being here. Jim, good to see you. Good to have you on the panel. And Agent K, thanks for coming in. Mel, good to see you, buddy. Rick Halber, always a pleasure. Hope you get better soon and get home and stay home this time. Who would I miss? Let's go back a little ways. Ron Lockwood was here, and I know that Jody was here. Drone shots, and that's about as back as far as I'm going to go. So if I missed you, appreciate you come. Hot Rod, hey, you're there. You're still here too. Pete Nunez still here. Good. Thanks for coming in, guys. And with that, I will bring my music up, but I got to get back to my music and get off of that music that I was playing for Carlos. Here we go. Okay. There it is. I've adopted that as my theme song. Anyway, take the rest of the day off, guys. Go play with your drones. Thanks for coming. Hope we all had a good time, and I will see you on Sunday. And now turn you over to Spank, the monkey, to say goodnight. Say goodnight, Spanky.